Hello? Hello? I'm shy. Y'all, just dropped sour cream on my leg. Hold on. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm good. Y'all, it's a Taco Bell mukbang. What else is new? I was in the mood for tacos today, so I decided to do a Taco Bell mukbang. So let me tell you what I got. They're already soggy. But, because I was unwrapping them, I was like, oh shit. But whatever, we're gonna eat them anyways, regardless. So I got two Fiery Locos Doritos tacos, which are my absolute favorite. I got two nacho cheese Doritos tacos. And then I got two Cool Ranch Doritos tacos. And then I got a soft, I think this is beef. Yeah, and then I got a soft beef taco. And I also got four Cinnabon Delights. So the tacos are regular because I have my own sour cream. Y'all ain't finna try me. Shoot. Y'all know they charge extra for sour cream at Taco Bell, and I just don't have the time, okay? Or the budget. Okay, so let me eat this this taco is broken up. This one's already falling apart. This is a Cool Ranch. And these are all just beef tacos. I might not have enough sour cream. I might not have enough. Well, listen, I'm gonna make it do what it do because I'm gonna make it do what it do. And I got fire sauce. I am not about to be out here paying the sour cream price at Taco Bell when I have sour cream at home. Mom boys, we got food at home. Sometimes you gotta make the sacrifice. Also, by not getting sour cream, I was able to get way more tacos. You know, more bang for my buck. I don't even know how I'm about to eat this because it is falling apart. But let's see. It's still really good. All right. So y'all, the month is June. It is Pride Month. I have zero tolerance for ignorant people and people that aren't accepting of love, no matter the gender, no matter the sex. You know, love is love, and I really cannot be around or tolerate anybody that is not of that same belief. Like, you know, that saying goes, the people that are most offended by LGBTQ, by that community, those are the people that are secretly probably a part of that community, and they're self-hating and they're self-loathing, and they probably just need to look within themselves and find out why there's so much hatred in their heart, because there shouldn't be. Why do you care so much? Why are you so angry about love? That says more about you than it does about anybody else, you know? So, anyway. Y'all, look at this taco. This is more like a quesadilla the way I have to hold it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's good. It's just very weary and tired. Taco Bell is so hit or miss. I might need to get a fork to eat this. Hold on. One day you go and you get popping hot, fresh, crunchy tacos. Then you go in the next day or even an hour later and they look like this. I was hoping to have a better day today, but I guess not. I figured since it was raining and there wasn't a lot going on that I'll probably get fresh tacos because I have nothing else to do but to make fresh tacos, but I guess not. I guess not. Anyway, so how are y'all doing today? How you doing? You alright? Y'all, it has been raining on and off all this weekend, so I live in Florida, so we about to hit up hurricane season. So if you hear thunder and lightning in the background, just consider ambiance for the book that we're about to get into, because actually they keep mentioning in the book that it's raining. They wish all the rain would stop, so it's ambiance. I did this on purpose. I did. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get right into it because we have a lot to talk about. So I did read the next 5 chapters, chapters 11 through 14. Now, I'm not going to say these were the most eventful chapters because they weren't. They were more so, I mean, there was one big event, but they were more so kind of setting us up for more drama. They're teasing us. I see where they're going. Okay, so chapter 11 pops off. It is from Oliver's point of view. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm going to bring you up to speed. The book that I'm reading is called Truly Madly Guilty. It's like a suspenseful murder. And we're just trying to figure out what happened. Who's a murderer? Who got murdered? Basically, all the drama goes down at a barbecue. We don't know what really happened at the barbecue. But of course, we're going to find out very soon. Nacho cheese. So, chapter 11 pops off from Oliver's point of view. Now, Oliver is married to Erica. They're kind of considered a very uptight couple. They're very clean, organized, neat people. And Oliver has been worried about their neighbor Harry, who's been missing for like weeks now. He's an old grumpy man that lives across the street. Nobody really cares too much about him except for Oliver. And then he mentioned it to Tiffany, who's also their neighbor. Like, where's Oliver been? Have you noticed? So she's noticed he's missing. She's like, yeah, where is he? So here we are. Now they keep mentioning Oliver has a cold, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. So he has a cold. He's like sniffling, sneezing or whatever. He says, you know what? I've had enough. I'm going to go over to his house and knock on the door and see like what's going on. Check for a key or whatever. See if I can get in and find out if he's okay. So as he opens the door, Tiffany's there, like right at the front door, like, damn, bitch, chill. She's right there at the front door. And she's like, listen, I'm worried about Harry. We should really go see what's going on. He was like, I'm just about to go see about that now. Like, let's go. And now I'm reminded you now it's raining. They keep saying it's raining. So they keep mentioning her umbrella, his umbrella, blah, blah, blah. So they go over to his house and they're banging on the door. Harry, it's your neighbors. Are you okay? Are you okay? No noise, no nothing. So Oliver starts looking around for a key, trying to see if he has a key like under the mat or whatever. And he finds a key. It's under like a clay pot. So he finds the key. And as he starts to open the door, Tiffany's like, oh, what if he like went out of town to visit family or something? Which, should we really be doing this? And he's like, he don't got no goddamn family, bitch. Nobody likes him. Something's going on. So they open the door and boom, a smell hits them. Y'all know that smell. A putrid, disgusting smell hits them right in the face. And they're like, ew. So then they, so Tiffany stays back. Oliver goes forward to kind of see like what's going on. He's like, I realized I just never saw the inside of his house before. He's only been like complaining from outside. Yeah, I gotta roll this taco up. This thing is like so messy. He's like, wow, his house is pretty decent looking. So he's walking through the house and boom, at the bottom of the stairs, he finds Harry. He's dead. When he looks at his body, he notices like he's not wearing matching socks. It looked like where his glasses sat, somebody might have pushed his, like mushed his face in. His hair was perfectly combed. So he's like, weird. But he was also like very grossed out. So he backed away quickly, and as he backed away, he kind of like trembled, closed the front door shut, like he don't want to look at that. Tiffany immediately puked because she knew like what they were seeing, what Oliver saw. So that's the end of chapter 11. They found Harry dead. I'm gonna move on to a Doritos Fiery Locos because that's my favorite one, and they're getting soggier by the minute, y'all, so I'm trying to hurry up. So that's the end of chapter 11. So chapter 12 is actually a super quick, super short chapter. Chapter 12 is actually from Dakota's point of view. Now, Dakota is Tiffany and Vid's daughter. I believe she's like 10 years old or something like that. Can't really remember her exact age, but yeah, that's their daughter. And this goes back to the day of the barbecue. So a little flashback. She's sitting at like the little windowsill. She's reading a book, as she's wont to do. And he shares like, bam, like front door shut. It's her dad, Vid. I've had enough of that guy, talking about Harry the neighbor. This is the last straw. I don't know what Harry was complaining about, but of course he was talking about Harry was complaining about something, and he's had enough. He's like, that's enough. Like, I'm tired of dealing with him, period. And he's like, he realized ain't nobody listening to him. So he's like, where are you? Dakota, where's your mom? Where is everyone? Tiffany's like, what? Like in another room, like, huh? Where are you? Where's Dakota? Dakota is hearing everything but not responding to anything. She's not trying to get in the middle. She's way too busy reading her book. And she, so remember, now the barbecue was impromptu. Vid invited everybody to the barbecue without Tiffany or Dakota's consent or knowledge. So now they have to hurry up and clean the house and find food. So Tiffany told Dakota like, oh, when you're done reading this chapter, you got to help me clean the house. Now they mentioned they have a very big house. I don't know if that's important or not, but I'm going to go ahead and throw that in. They have a very big house. And Dakota basically said like, I'm not trying to help. Like, bitch, these aren't my guests. I don't want to do this. Like, I'm not trying to be a part of this. I don't want to do this. So she's like pretending not to hear anything, and Like, she had already read the chapter that her mom said she could, but her mom wasn't watching her, so she's like, let me go ahead and like read another chapter. And so she just keeps reading another chapter. She was reading the Hunger Games. She said she imagines she's Katniss in the Hunger Games. And that was pretty much it. That's the end of chapter 12. Super quick. Dakota's point of view, which I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised they put like gave a child's point of view. But I appreciate that. Because, you know, we don't know who the killer is. It could be her. It could be Dakota. We don't know. Everybody's up to be the killer right now. And also, we still don't know who died. Because at first I thought it was Harry. But he died 2 months later. And all the main characters are still alive 2 months later. So, who the hell died at the barbecue? So that's the end of chapter 12. And chapter 13 opens up. It is Erica's point of view. Erica's married to Oliver. Again, very uptight lady. They're like no fun people, pretty much. And it's proven so by this chapter. Okay. So Erica gets home from work and is back to like present day. The day that Oliver found Harry dead. So she's coming home, cleaning off her umbrella. She's wet. It's raining. He's sitting on the couch all lost and confused. You know, he just saw a dead body, so he's out of it. As soon as she walks through the door, first thing he said is, Harry's dead. He's like, what? Who? She's so like, not even trying to care. He's like, Harry, the neighbor's dead. And so she looks at him and she realizes like he's been crying. He's crying and then he has a cold. So around him are a bunch of tissue. You know, he's been crying, blowing his nose, snotting, sneezing. Here's how OCD she is. She's like, ew, like look at all the tissues around him. Like, this is so nasty. I know I should be concerned, but I need to clean up these tissues. She's like, take a deep breath, take a deep breath. These tissues have to be removed. Because she's kind of like going in the kitchen like, oh my god, like what happened? Where did you find him? In the meantime, she's like looking for a bag to put the tissues in. She's listening, but she's not listening. She's worried about those tissues. So he's like, yeah, we found him at his house, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, really? So then she's like picking up the tissues, putting them in a bag, tying it all neatly, setting it to the side. And in her head, she's like, I know I need to ask him what's going on, like what happened, but I really don't feel like it. She's like, I had to work through lunch, so I'm actually like very hungry. So when do I ask about food? He seems very upset, but I'm hungry. Can relate. Okay. Listen, I know you're sad and distraught, but are you hungry by any chance? Can we talk about this over food? He's probably nowhere near hungry. She's probably like, I want some tacos, bitch. So she's like, she's talking to herself in her head like, my therapist told me that this is what you should do when someone needs to be consoled, like robot. No real natural human reaction. So she's going through the motions. She's like, sit down, face him, touch arm. Even in her head, she's like, I touch his arm. Now that I touch his arm, I gotta sanitize my hand. I gotta wash my hands. So they're going back and forth doing this fake consoling. She basically brings up, like, you know, through her childhood, she really doesn't know how to console anyone properly. She wasn't raised to know how to handle people with emotions. And Oliver was the same way, so that's why they have that bit of a connection. So she's uncomfortable, the phone rings. Erica jumps up like, I got it. Anything to get me out of this uncomfortable ass situation, because Oliver was talking to her like, it's my fault, I should have checked on him. he'd probably still be alive if it wasn't for me. And she's like, bitch, it doesn't have anything to do with us. Like, she was like, I don't want to let myself get too attached to this man. I don't even like this old man, so I don't want to cry over somebody I don't even like and somebody that did not like me. So she's like, Oliver was like, what if he fell and he died of hunger? He was so hungry and he was crying out for help and we didn't hear him. And she was like, bitch, first of all, he would have died of dehydration. He was like, okay, like whatever. And she was like, yeah, but you got to be like realistic. It's not your fault that he died. So when the phone rang, she's like, I got it. Let me get out of here. I'm tired of talking to you about this dead man. You're not going to bring me down with you. I'm not about to cry over this man that doesn't even like me. I mean, kind of true tea. So she goes to answer the phone. It's someone named Pam. We come to find out that Pam is Clementine's mother. Now, Clementine is Erica's best friend. She's married to Sam. I say best friend like that because they seem almost like frenemies. Like they're friends, but they seem like they had friends that they're only friends because they've known each other for so long. They don't seem like real ass friends. Like, just because I've known you for a long time does not mean you're my friend. Believe that, Playboy. Nacho cheese. So it's Clementine's mom, and I'm like, why is her mom calling you? Like, that's so weird. That would be like my friend Tiffany. Her mom calling me. Like, huh? Miss Tash, what you want? Basically, Pam was calling her. She was like, hey, I'm just babysitting the kids for Clementine and Sam. They're having a date night. They really need it. You know what I mean? And Erica's like, I don't know what you mean. Because, see, like I said, they're not real friends. So she doesn't even really know what's going on in Erica's life or in Clementine's life. So she's like, I guess they need a date night. Like, why would they need a date night? Like, she doesn't understand that Clementine and Sam are actually having problems. Yeah, her mom's like, yeah, they really need it. But you know all about that. You know what I mean? She was like, not really. And she was like, anyway, I was on my way to something called Flower Power. I was on my way to Flower Power and I passed by your mom's house and I had to pop in. I mean, I know I'm not the best friends with your mom, best of friends with your mom as of lately. I don't know why your mom doesn't really like me right now, but I popped in anyway to say hi. And I feel like, I know you have this monthly ritual. If you remember a few episodes or a few videos back, I mentioned that Erica was on a schedule with her mom. She was like, no, mom, because her mom called her like, oh, we should have lunch like real soon. She was like, no, I'm going to see you on Thursday at this time. This is the time that we agreed upon. So it seems like they have a strained relationship. So Pam was like, I'm just calling you to say that I feel like your mom's in a bad way and you should bump up your scheduled meeting. You need to go see her ASAP. You know, like she's not doing too good. Eric was like, oh, really? Is it that bad? Pam was like, yeah, it's that bad. So I don't know what that means. We still really haven't gotten into the relationship with Erica and her mom. So we're not quite sure why their relationship is so strained. That's another mystery. I'm sure we'll find out. So that's the end of chapter 13. Chapter 14, we move on to the dinner that Pam called Erica about, like the dinner that Clementine and Sam are on. Now, if you watch previous mukbangs, you know that I feel like Sam cheated on Clementine at the barbecue. That's my opinion. I said what I said. That's what I feel like. They made it sound like he was the one that cheated. Which I'm thinking Tiffany's so sexy. And Tiffany calling him muscles. And he said that he wished he could just go back 5 minutes. Something that happened at the barbecue. So I'm like, oh, he cheated. But then I read this chapter and I'm like, who really cheated? Because here we go. Now, so Sam and Clementine are at this date night dinner. They're clearly having some sort of relationship issues, marital issues, because they have to have a date night. And it's very necessary. It's very tense. Sam is asking like basic ass questions like how was your speech at the library? How many people were there? Blah blah blah. And she's like, oh, like, you know, less than 20. Erica was there. Don't know why she was there. He was like, because she's your biggest fan. All sarcastic. Their friendship seems very weird. Their friendship seems very weird. So she's like, yeah, whatever. And so she's just like, he's looking at her very annoyed. He seems angry. Like he doesn't want to be there. Just very over the situation. So she asked him like, oh, like, how's work for you? How is it working for like a startup business or whatever? He looked at her like, bitch, work for me is fine. And fuck you too. I mean, I guess. So I'm like, why is he so mad at her? I don't understand. Why is he so mad at her? They're going on about their dinner and she's like repeating the words that her mom said, Pam, like in her head, like, remember, you guys need this dinner. Remember, you guys need this dinner. You need to have this talk. Forgiveness is super important. Like stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, so is her mom, so her mom saying like she needs to forgive Sam because clearly he cheated. I'm just like, what's going on? What's going on? Because the barbecue at this point was like 2 months ago. So what happened in the 2 months? Clearly their relationship has been very strained in the 2 months. But Eric and Oliver seem fine. So I feel like somebody in Sam and Clementine's relationship cheated. So she's like feeling his energy. And she was like, oh, like I hate having these dinners. I hate having these talks. Like I hate doing this. He was like, so why the fuck are we doing it? Why are we doing this then? If you don't like it, why are we here? He was like, you don't even know what you want anymore. You're obsessed with this. Like these talks. Do you even practice anymore? Clementine's a cellist. She's like, what the hell do you mean do I practice anymore? Of course I do. Don't you hear me at 5 o'clock in the morning every day practicing? He was like, oh. He is like not. He's not there. He was like, oh, I guess. He goes, I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I didn't realize you were practicing. She was like, what the hell do you think I was doing? She was like, yeah, I practiced and I also did like a mock audition with Ainsley and Hugh. Now, Ainsley and Hugh are their friends. Well, I think they're her friends, but they're like, they're musicians as well, like cellists. They were able to listen to her audition and give her pointers to tell her if she'll get the job or not, or if she'll pass on to the next round. So they seem very well versed in her world. And he was like, oh, really? So then he kind of perked up. He was like, oh, that's so you practice for them? Like, how did that go? And she was like, oh, it went fine, but in reality it did not go so fine. So she recalls like what actually happened when she auditioned. So basically what happened when she auditioned was she auditioned for them and they started kind of bickering back and forth about her performance. He was like, it's perfect, like she's got the job, I'll pass her right on. And Ainsley was like, I guess, I don't know. He was like, what do you mean? She was like, it sounded too rehearsed, like it sounded too perfect. It didn't sound like you, Clementine. He was like, okay, so what do you mean it sounded too perfect? So it was perfect, right? She was like, it sounded perfect, but it sounded like robotic, like a young person, like a young 20-something-year-old, like they're so willing to get the job that they don't miss a step, they don't miss a beat. It's very like bing bang boom. It doesn't have any personality or anything. Like, it doesn't sound like you. She was like, are you okay? Like, are you sure you still want this job, like after everything that happened? Talking about the barbecue. And he was like, what do you mean? And so before she could answer the phone, I mean before she could answer their question, the phone rang. So they don't say who was on the phone. So then, you know, back to the dinner, Sam was like, yeah, she was like, it went fine. And then even like Hugh even mentioned before, like when he was a young kid, his teacher used to make him run in place or early in the morning like you did for me a couple of weeks ago. And Sam was like, oh really? Cool. He's not, he's a million miles away. So then I'm like thinking, like, why is he so upset? Is he doing the thing like most men when they cheat and they try to make you feel guilty and they try to have an attitude like you did something wrong but you didn't really? I'm like, so is he trying to make her feel guilty for him cheating? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. Yeah, so I don't understand. She's thinking in her head like, this is such an uncomfortable dinner. Like, I can't believe this. I need to think of a joke. So she's racking her brain, and in the while she's like racking her brain, they hear this laugh, this very annoying, obnoxious laugh, and they're like, "Oh my god, not Vid. This cannot be Vid." And that's where the chapter leaves us. So it's like, did Vid do something? Why are they so nervous to see Vid? I mean, I know nobody wants to see Vid because he's like this loud, obnoxious guy, but they seem so nervous for it to be him. Like, no, please. What did he do? So I'm like, oh my gosh. They're finna come blow their spot up. So then chapter 15. Same POV, I'm assuming. It doesn't really say who's POV, but I think it's from Clementine still. So it's like they kind of turn around and see like, who was that making that laugh? Is it Vid? It's not Vid, just 3 look-alike Vids. Three Vid-ish type people. And they're like, oh my god. They both breathe a sigh of relief, and Sam almost kind of has a little bit of energy. He's kind of like, oh, I thought that was him. Like, oh, I'm just so happy. And she's like, yes, like he's participating in the dinner finally. And then, hold on. It's almost like he realized, like, oh, I jumped out of character a little bit. So he kind of looks back down at his menu and kind of like readjusting himself. He's like, I just don't want that to be Vid. That cannot be Vid. I'm not ready to see him. I was like, why is he so... I'm like, of course he doesn't want to see Vid because he slept with Tiffany, right? So now he's nervous to see Vid, right? I don't think so, because then Clementine is like, yeah, that would be so crazy to see him. You know, by the way, Erica mentioned that Vid really wants to talk to us. And then Sam was like, I'm sure he does. And Clementine was like, she mentioned the word desperate. And Sam was like, oh, desperate to see you? And I was like, Clementine, you didn't. No, you didn't, you Jezebel. Here's what I don't understand. Like, they make Vid out to be someone that nobody would want to sleep with. He's very obnoxious and annoying and loud and does not seem like the kind of person like Clementine would go for. So I'm like, did Clementine cheat? Is she the cheater? And that's why Sam's like not trying to participate in this phony dinner. Was a mom saying forgiveness because she needs to let Sam forgive her for her wrongdoings? Who was the cheater? And then, so so she was like, yeah, he used the word desperate. He's like, desperate to see you, probably. I was like, ain't this about a bitch? Ain't this about a bitch? Who's cheating? And basically Sam was like, oh, I'm sure we'll run into them sooner or later. Like, you know, they live in the same neighborhood as Erica and Oliver, so we'll probably run into them eventually. So we'll probably talk then. She was like, well, you know, we could easily avoid them. We don't really have to see Erica and Oliver. They don't really seem to like them anyway. So she's like, yeah. And so she's thinking in her head, like, I think she's like thinking about a lot of things that happened that day of the barbecue, and she's just like in her head, like looking off in the distance. The waiter has brought their drinks, which by the way, it took him forever to bring the drinks. When he finally brought them, they were the wrong kind of drinks, and they were like, whatever, like just drink the shit. And so they're both going back and forth, like, what are you gonna eat? What are you gonna eat? And she was like, I don't know, you know, I'm really not that hungry. And he was like, I'm not either. Like, let's just call it a day. And she was like, so much for date night. He was like, yeah, so much for date night. So I'm like, who is the cheetah? Who? The deeper we get into this book, the more confused I am. I feel like I have everything figured out, and then it turns around, I don't know anything. So then, like, they both decide, like, let's just leave. And she's like looking off in the distance, like trying not to look at him because she doesn't want to look at his face, giving her a hard eye roll. But she goes, do you ever think about what if we never went to the barbecue? Like, what if one of the girls got sick, or if I continue practicing, or you got called into work, or any number of scenarios to cause us not to go to that barbecue? Do you ever think about where we would be if that never happened? And he was like, no, I don't think about it, because it happened, didn't it? We went, didn't we? He's not even trying to let himself go there. He's been hurt. So something definitely is going on in their relationship, and that's the end of chapter 15. Here we are. Something is definitely going on in their relationship, something that has caused strain in their relationship. I feel like now I'm like, she cheated. Last time I was like, he definitely cheated, he's the cheater. Now I'm like, she cheated and he's over it. I don't know, I'm so confused. And about Harry, the old grumpy neighbor, I feel like Vid might have had something to do with that. Him and Vid, we've heard a couple of occasions, because remember when Erica said the last time she saw Harry was when she ran out to get crackers, and she saw in her rearview mirror that Harry and Vid were arguing. So Harry was still alive the day of the barbecue. Oliver says he saw him the day before the barbecue because he came over to complain about something. So he was still alive the day of the barbecue. And seems like Vid and Erica might have been Vid and Erica might have been the last two people to see him alive. And Erica seemed kind of shocked that he was dead, but kind of not really. She really wasn't trying to hear that many emotions coming from Oliver. So did she do something? But here's the real question. Who died at the barbecue? Somebody dies at the barbecue. No, I feel like we still have more characters to introduce. I say this all the time because I just feel like, well, definitely all the main characters are still alive. Or are they even main characters? You got Clementine and Sam still alive. Eric and Oliver still alive. Vid and Tiffany still alive. So far their daughter Dakota has only gave her point of view from the day of the barbecue, so she might not be alive. We haven't heard anything about Sam and Clementine's kids. They have two daughters, but they're so little. I don't know if we're really going to get a POV from them. We still haven't gotten a POV from Vid. And then the moms. There's something going on with Clementine's mom, Erica's mom. There's definitely some mom issues. So maybe we'll hear from the moms. I can't see how the moms would be at the barbecue. Tell me what y'all think so far. Let me know if you're reading this book. Truly, Madly Guilty. If you're not reading this book, what do you think so far of this story? I mean, you don't really have to read the book, but it would be nice if you did, because I would like to have people to talk to about this book. I'm just talking about it myself, talking it out, trying to run scenarios through my mind, and I'm coming up every time I do another mukbang. I'm like, you know what? I feel like this happened now, and then I thought we gonna flip it and reverse it. Missy Elliott. I'm just as lost as I ever was. I don't know, y'all. I'm full. I have half a taco left and a full soft taco. I'm gonna wrap that up and eat that later because I'm full. These crunchy tacos, they weren't even crunchy when I started eating them bitches. Let me eat one Cinnabon Delight, which is definitely cold by now. But it's still so very good. If you have never had a Cinnabon Delight from Taco Bell, you are missing out on life. You really are. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think the hell is going on. Let me know your thoughts, suggestions, theories. Like I said before, if you read the book already, please don't spoil it for me. I'm actually enjoying kind of being confused every couple of chapters, so join the journey with me. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.